Okay, so I'm going to copy paste this file, put under internal, and I'm going to change it to internal. Okay, as the name suggests, the internal is you're writing CSS inside the HTML file. Okay, let's open that up. Let's close inline. Okay, and make it internal. Okay, let's understand how to write the same style inside the HTML file. Okay, so we head over to the head section. Okay, there is a tag called style. Okay, and then you can mention what type of style it is. Okay, it is text/CSS. Okay, and you can close the style. So inside this you can write your CSS styles. So whatever you write here will be applied to your tags. Okay, so let's write the same styles here and make sure it is been assigned to our tags here. Okay, so how to write CSS? Okay, how to write CSS? So let's understand how to change the inline CSS with an internal CSS. Well, when you're writing CSS, you have to first mention what is a selector. Means how you want to apply this rule. So I'm saying I want to apply this rule to my h1 tag. Okay, then I open and close the flower brackets. You can choose to have flower brackets on the same line. Okay, if it's one liner, you can choose to have like this, or you can write like how you write a for loop or a if condition, right? So now you are saying the selector is h1, so apply this rule for h1. Okay, now you don't have to copy style, you just have to say color : red. Okay, I'm gonna cut this, paste it here, and make sure you end with a semicolon. Okay, now you remove this styling, you don't need style, right? And you will see here the styling is already applied. So let's close this and reopen that. Right, so you can see we have moved our styling from tag to inline inside the HTML page. Okay, and you have used the selector as the HTML tag. Okay, now we will change the another selector, that is P, and we'll say font weight is bold. All right, okay, you can see the same effect, no change in it, but this time we have used a method called internal CSS. Okay, this is how the internal CSS you will write, and remember we are writing in the head section, not in the body section. Okay, in the head section we are mentioning the style here, and then the style we are saying we are using the selectors, that is the P and the H, we are trying to change their properties. All right, and remember that the style has to be on the top, not onto the bottom. Don't put it somewhere in the bottom. The reason behind is before the page load, the browser should know what are the style that I have to apply onto these tags. If you write it down, then what browser will does it try to print them in the black, and once it is printing in the black finishes, then it's try to apply the style. But if you tell browser, okay, use this styling, so instead of printing it black, it will basically print the styles that you have applied for it. All right, and you see you haven't mentioned anything about this style applying onto this tag. Okay, this is all happening with the selector. If you change the selector, right, it's automatically taken care here, right? This is basically the rules that you are mentioning here. I want to apply this rule on this tag, right? You can write any tag you want. If you just say I want to apply this rule on the body, then you see everything become red, because now all the tags inside the body will have this rule of color red. And you can even say, okay, make it everything as bold. You see everything is color red and bold, right? So you can play around with it. You can have your own selectors and change the HTML behavior. Okay, there's a default behavior. If you don't have this selectors, let's remove this, then it will be go back to default. You can override it with the internal CSS as well. Okay, and this is how you write an internal CSS. Right, so that's all about how to write an internal CSS, and I'll see you in the next one.